So we're back with another round of dynoing the Supercharged E46. This time, we're gonna be dynoing it after my pulley upgrade. So this is a smaller pulley. I went from an 85 millimeter to a 70 millimeter and then changed out the belt. If you wanna see that video, I'll have a card at top right. Definitely make sure to check that one out. And also make sure to check out the video where we dyno this after my rebuild. So the last numbers on this car, 334 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. So like I said in the last video, I don't think that this is gonna make anywhere near 10% extra horsepower. I would like to see closer to like 25 horsepower more out of the car, and I really have no guess on what the torque difference is gonna be. It is a little bit cooler outside today than it was the last time we dynoed the car. It's probably a good 15 to 20 degrees cooler today. It was probably closer to 80 degrees last time we did this, and I think it's just over 65 today, maybe. Hopefully we don't get too hot, and we'll be able to see some better horsepower numbers. All right, well, I couldn't be any happy with those numbers. That Supercharger pulley added 65 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. The car dynoed basically 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. I was seeing closer to 13 PSI on the boost gauge, which is basically what I was hoping for. So I am very happy with this. So let's go check out the numbers real fast.
So what we've got here is two graphs. The black line, that's solid, is horsepower to the wheels, and the dotted line is torque. The black line numbers represent a boost of 9 PSI. The green numbers, again, the solid line is horsepower, the dotted line is torque, represent 12 pounds of boost. We're also about 15 degrees cooler today, so the intercooler was staying much more efficient than it was the last time the car was in here. We had some drop in, you can see the drop, that was 2 pulls on the first set at 9 PSI. It dropped with every pull. This represents today, and this is the second pull after we're starting to get some heat soak, and the numbers dropped 29 horsepower and 25 foot-pounds of torque. So if it would have kept going, it would have kept dropping. So the real representation from before and after is this, minus there's about 15 degrees difference in outside temperature. So your original number would have been a little higher than the number today. So there's a good comparison. Your 400 horse at the wheels, 401 torque. That about explains it for you.
Crank horsepower.
That's crank horsepower.
And this is crank.
These are all crank horsepower off of different pulls.
Okay. And then where's the
torque?
Here's the torque.
That's at the wheel.
That's at the wheel.
All the numbers in the green are wheel numbers, and then this is your max, which would be like at the crank. Okay. A manufacturer would give you a number based off of crank, not based off of wheels.
Right. All right, everybody, like I said earlier, I couldn't be any happier. This completely blew my expectations out of the water. I was thinking that this was only going to be adding a little bit of horsepower, 3 PSI, not that big of a deal, but I was seeing closer to 13. But 13 PSI is 4 PSI more than what I was running before, and the numbers reflect that. So I got a 19.4% horsepower increase to the wheel, and I got a 27.3 foot-pounds of torque increase to the wheel, putting my car at 400 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque. I think the biggest reason I didn't realize the massive horsepower increase is because when I was driving it around, I was kind of taking it easy. You know, I had just put on a new pulley, just put on a new belt, and I just didn't really run the car all the way up. I could tell there was a horsepower difference. I could tell there was a performance throttle response difference, and the car did run a little bit better, but I just didn't really go full throttle very hard and feel that full increase of power. So as always, thanks everybody for watching. Check out our Patreon, link is in the description below. Also leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments about the video, anything you'd like to see on the channel, anything else about this E46 that anybody would like to see. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see everybody in the next video.